Warning: the following video might contain some elements that might not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion applies. Do you remember when you first discovered glitches in Pokemon? I remember when I did. Summer 1999, at Kingswood Summer Club, Pokemon Red and Blue was released the previous year, which I guess would make me 8 or 9. The Pokemon craze was in full swing over here in the UK. Every day, I pack my Pikachu Yellow Game Boy Color with Pokemon Red permanently slotted into its top. My friends and I would get together with our link cables for epic trading and battle sessions that lasted for the whole day, or until our parents came to pick us up. Around midsummer, our group was starting to feel like we'd seen it all and done it all. Sure, I didn't think we ever caught them all back then. It seemed like an impossibility. When I got to level 100, limited to level 4 more times than we could remember, the game was starting to lose its draw, and there were still 4 long weeks of summer left. Then we saw Missing No. I remember the first kid I knew to have him. It was that his brother showed him how to catch this super awesome Pokemon. I got around as he revealed that Pokemon to us, that magical distorted reverse L-shape that held the key to infinite rare candies. We're all instantly in love and dying to get one of those rare Pokemons for ourselves. So he passed out the secret and showed us how. Within the next few days, our little group was hooked on glitches. We scored in magazines for the latest bugs and tricks. We visit Glitch City, battle all kinds of high-level Pokemon off the coast of Cinnabar. We even caught Mew. But there was one glitch which I'd never been able to find record of since. Funnily enough, I can't remember the details of how to pull it off, but I remember the outcome. Glitchlet. The technique for finding this little guy followed the pattern of a lot of the tedious Pokemon encounter bugs in Red and Blue. Talk to this dude, fly to his place. In my head, send to slow down? I'm not sure, really. Glitchlet was just as you expected. A glitch up Diglett. The sprite was mostly intact, but the face was distorted, Missing No style. There were a few short lines through it, like scan lines, and the cry was a little weird too. I feel I can't put my finger on what it was. His level was never visible, but I guess it must have been over 100. As we could hardly put the mask on him while trying to catch him. Most of us resorted to one of out many clone Master Balls. We nicknamed him Glitchlet, and that night we were eagerly trying out what this guy could do. The next day, we all met up to compare results. By this point, we all considered ourselves Pokemon glitch experts. Experiences with Glitchlet were varied. One guy claimed it messed up his game so bad he couldn't play it anymore and had to reset. Others said they tried to battle with Glitchlet only to find the game crash every time they tried. Had the most luck in battles with a new glitch Pokemon. His only move was Dig, and he couldn't earn any HMs or TMs. Even those you expect a Diglett to be able to learn against wild Pokemon. Glitchlet was a powerhouse. He never lost PP. Together, we one had KO'd every Pokemon we came across. But the attack itself was odd. It took 2 turns as usual, but after the first turn, he'd been hit with some kind of self-damaging recall. There was no explanation other than Dig was hurt in that strange cry, but it never made much of a mark on him. Glitch's HP was higher than anything I ever seen. It took only one Dig to destroy any wild Pokemon. It was never much of a problem. I laid waste to my friends' teams during Link battles, and he soiled the Elite Four. I remember when things got even stranger. I was eliminating team using the EXP all destroying wild Pokemon with glitches seemed the obvious choice, and I maxed many Pokemon this way in the past. I had woken up early that morning to level, especially, and had spent all day camming wild Pokemon. At that moment, I was under my bed covers with my trusty Game Boy Color light. Mom would go mad if she knew I wasn't asleep at this time. Everyone was going to plan, and my new team was living up beautifully. I must have been concentrating pretty hard because it was too late when I noticed how low Glitchlett's health had become. I selected Dig for the fun time and watched him begin to descend into the ground. As expected, I received a message. Diglett was hurt. I heard that piercing cry louder than before, and my stomach turned as I watched his health bar slide towards zero. The bar doubled back on itself. It was to empty 4 or 5 times before Glitches repeated his dying cry. Now a horrible noise. Diglett was killed. Do you want to use the next Pokemon? I know it's cliched in this kind of stories, but I remember that vividly. I flickered no. My team members would have but I guess any Pokemon anyway. I was warped to the overworld and found myself back in the unknown dungeon. Opening my Pokemon menu confirmed that I'd seen before. My beloved Glitchlet at the top of the party, health reduced to 0. I selected him. I'm not sure what good I thought it might have done. I know that something was different. Maybe it was there before, but I think I would have noticed that Dig was now selectable outside the battle. I thought up for a moment. Maybe it was the atmosphere, but this move was suddenly chilling me. Glitchlet had never been damaged by any wild Pokemon, only by this move. It wasn't even as true he's hurt himself in confusion or with recall. Whoever had hurt helping kill him had been underground all along, waiting, sapping Glitchlet's life each time I sent him to attack. His death cry echoed in my ears as I realized what I'd done. My thumb hovered over the A button, my brain willing myself to dig and get out of the cave. But my stomach felt sick. What's down there, anyway? I was stuck with no choice. The egg was too far away. My remaining Pokemon would be destroyed if I tried to get there. With a lump in my throat, I dug, and my sprite began spinning to the earth, and the screen went black. I wasn't surprised when I realized where I was. Not the entrance to the cave or even the nearest Pokemon Center, but a glitch out cave that I now realized was some kind of bug version of Diglett's cave. I checked my Pokemon and saw Glitch's health has been restored. It was now my only Pokemon. The other 5 members of my team missing entirely. I choose Dig again. Oaks scolded me. Apparently this wasn't the time to use that. With no means of escape, I set off looking for the exit. My sprite moved slowly, more of a crawl than a walk. As I moved, the cave's walls bug out, turning red, flexing and swelling in and out like the lungs of a monster. Slowly, music began to play, high-pitched and distorted and horrible. It was quiet at first, but grew louder with every step. As it played, something became familiar. A familiar tune beneath the whirring, bugging notes. Everything I began to mouth the words to the music. Diglett, dig, Diglett, dig, trio, trio, trio. Diglett, dig, trio, trio, trio. Then I encountered a Pokemon. A wild Dugtrio appeared. As the distorted battle music began, the level 225 Dugtrio appeared before my eyes. The ground was an awful, warped scream that seemed to become a garnishing crunch before stopping entirely. Dugtrio's sprite like Glitchlet was before. Dugtrio's faces with hollow eyes twisted into pixelated hounds that looked somehow painful. The bottom of the sprite was unrecognizable. Looks as if 6 deformed claw arms were rising from the dirt around Dugtrio's body. My little Pokemon was released, and Glitch's back sprite appeared before me. His cry played again, quiet and seemingly a lot weaker. I was just a bystander now as the games took control, selecting an attack from the menu. Of course, Dig was the only option. My hands were sweating as I gripped the Game Boy tight. My breath was hot on the screen. Dugtrio went first. Dugtrio used Scratch. It hit 6 times, each tear triggering a painful cry from my Glitch Pokemon. Glitches was left with a sliver of health, as he retaliated with a attack of his own. Diglett used Struggle. It hardly made a mark as expected, but it was strange how Dig had never lost PP before. As previous, the game selected the next move. As the attack was chosen, I noticed that Glitch suddenly had no moves. The two words appeared where the first two attacks should have been. No hope. Dugtrio's echoed again as it launched an assault of scratches with its deadly, horrible arms. Glitchlett was attacked after the first strike. Diglett is dead. Diglett is dead. Do you want to continue? I didn't really understand the question, but that didn't matter. No one selected for me, and the battle faded away. Back to the overworld. The walls swelled and glitched before my eyes, and the maddened music began again. As expected, Glitchlett, his sprite has changed again. Had changed now. For his face was never visible, like Dugtrio's. He seemed to be formed like a pixelated screen. Dark brown streaks cut through the sprite. They look like claw marks or blood. I press on. I don't know what I was thinking at that stage. Just that this tiny Pokemon had affected my game in a much bigger way than expected. Those Pokemon seemed kind of wrong to me then. I swear it was something I ought not to have been messing with. Something we didn't understand or couldn't control. With no Pokemon left, I was surprised to see that I didn't black out or warp to the Pokemon Center. The game just continued as usual. It was only a few steps before the Pokemon encounter theme played and then the screen turned black. A wild Dugtrio appeared. This Pokemon sprite was different to the last, almost completely disfigured. The cry seemed as if it wouldn't end, screaming and wailing as a pixelated monster appeared on screen. Through the glitches and cut pixels, I could make out the hollow sockets of 8 eyes, 8 terrible clawed hands, and a gaping mouth. With no Pokemon left, my turns back sprite faced the glitch head on. In front of my eyes, the screen faded as my Game Boy's batteries cut out. Whatever had just happened gripping me with fear. That night, I didn't sleep. I even took the game out of the now dead Game Boy. I'm not sure what that would have done. Days later, I started that game up, and not saved during what had happened, so I was returned to my last save point. Glitchlett was at the head of my first party. Dig his only move. I thought for a moment, before abandoning that game forever and starting anew. So that was Glitchlett. And it's a pretty good creepypasta, It wasn't that special, not as crazy as the top percentage creepypasta, which is another Pokemon one. But yeah, but here, it's just more like, the whole, it's just a bit more basic about a little bit about the whole hyper realistic cliche and such. And yeah, there's like I mentioned about blood, which can be a little cliche, which wait, no. There's no blood. Okay. There's no mentions of like hyperrealism and friggin' blood in the story, since, it's just a bit more, felt like I thought it was just a glitch type of story, Well, it's just more like based on, your average, it's more like, I felt like, the glitch, the glitchlet is kind of like the Mason thing, but a bit more dangerous than that glitchy elf Pokemon looking thing. But anywho, sorry for my little starting because I just don't know what to say. It's just a pretty good creepypasta, without some random cliches, like hyperrealism and freaking blood. Since I just thought there's gonna be blood in it, but no. But yeah, and also the whole the whole that Pokemon's dead thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of I think that's something to. I think it's been cliche in the other. I think it's felt like a little bit cliche, in some Pokemon creepypasta with the whole, oh, that Pokemon's dead, but even through that in the game, Pokemon can't freaking die, but it can be fainted, But there's some emphasis where a Pokemon died, which I think it kind of makes sense, that there's some certain Pokemon that died, in some conditions, but yeah. So yeah, so that was my thoughts on the creepypasta. So hope you have a very great night, and subscribe for more content. So goodbye.